Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You join me today on the 19th of July, so if you are watching this, it's that time of the month where we had the ridiculous heat wave. It's about 36 degrees and we're back at the club water. The target is before I leave this water, obviously not today, however it could happen, is to catch one catfish and then a carp over 25 pound. And that's my goal, what I want to achieve on this lake or on this water before moving on onto a different water within the club. So yeah, it's a Tuesday afternoon. We're just going to do a quick overnight session just for this one, and then back to work in the morning. So yeah, we'll have a little walk around now, see if there's any on the top. Might be able to nick a bite, but if not, hunker down, probably just SF it under the stars tonight, and yeah, see if we can catch one of those catfish or indeed a carp. Right, let's get the gear out and see what's going on. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a lot of them all over the surface, and it's the very first peg that I've come to. So what have I done? I've got the old floater rod out. The bolt floats just around there, with a pop-up on. The rig could do with being slightly longer, but I just thought I'd give it a little try. Yeah, stay here for 15-20 minutes. It's in the shade for me, but the fish are obviously up in the water, so I'm waiting for my mate anyway. So I might just kill a bit of time and try and nick one off the surface in the very first peg. Let's give it a go. So although they was all over the surface in peg one, I did about 20 minutes. They just weren't interested. Came and then waited for Nick. So Nick's here now, give him a wave. Hey. Waited for Nick and then we just carried on. And I'm currently in peg, what peg is this? 17, so just to the left of where we normally are. Nick's in 16. The rods are all set up, traps are set, good to go. Had a couple of liners already, and as I said before, we're in that heat wave and we're literally on the verge of a storm where it's meant to drop from 36 degrees storm then to 26. So with a drop in pressure, bit of rain, hopefully we can get some fish on the bank tonight. We'll talk about the bait application a little bit later on, probably once we've had a bit of dinner. So yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens in between then and now. Peace. No messing about. Yeah. Whoa, did you see that? It got me hand. Yeah. Started eating my finger. Yeah. No.
That was mental. The kick just came in like whack, it was like a pipe. And his mate flushed it as well.
Good morning. It's very, very early. Almost first light. But we have one in the sling. Yeah, so about just a little while ago, left-hand rod that was fished under the tree. It's getting liners most of the night, and then yeah, not so long ago, ripped off. And here we have it. I'm going to get it out now, do some stills, and I'll show you guys what we've actually got. I've already weighed it. It's about 21.14, I think it was last night. So there you have it. Nice little overnight session. Fishing just specific tuna, chops, soaked in a bit of oil, and then the hook bait is one straight out of the bag, topped with a piece of fake corn. As you know, this place absolutely loves fake corn. And yeah, blessed with this lovely scaly mirror, weighing 21.14, a little bit battered, a little bit bruised up on its dorsal fin, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. This is what overnighters are about, coming in, trying to nick a bite, getting rewarded for the efforts, one step closer to catching some of the bigger ones in here. Placed directly under a tree with the bait boat, and yeah, paid off in the end. Let's get this one back and start packing up nice and slow, ready to go back to work. So now that I've put that fish back, I'll just show you where it was fishing. So the two rods there, and it was on the left hand rod, so this rod, and it's fishing just under that second tree there, just under that tree. And the other one, he's fishing in those dot islands in between, are roughly there, which I thought that was the one that was going to do the bite. However, we had a couple of liners, then nothing. I should have then checked it, as Nick's just reeled in, and he's already packed up and gone. But he reeled in, and he was snagged on a stick on one of his rods, and then on the other rod, his hook bait had actually come off. So yeah, he's essentially not been fishing all night. That's why it's important. Once you've had a few liners, if it's died off, potentially check your rigs. But let's start packing up. Well, it's that time of week again, Tuesday, 2:20. I've just got through the first gate. I'm on my way down the track to the second gate of the club water. Summer holidays now, so I'm hoping that it might be pretty quiet. I mean, it's normally quiet anyway, but I'm thinking it might be no one on. I don't think I've ever been the only person on the actual complex. I've been the only person on one lake, but this could be a new one. But it's not looking promising as the second gate's open, so I might need to close that. Well, obviously I need to close it anyway, but it saves me opening it, which isn't good. It means someone has either left it open and they're fishing, or they've left the fishery and left it open. So yeah, it's actually looking a bit busier than I thought. We'll go through the gate now and see how many people are actually here. There is a fair few cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's pretty busy actually, really busy. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot, get the tackle out, and hopefully get in my usual spots. We'll see what happens. If I can't, then looks like I might have to just do a bit of a watercraft and try and find some fish somewhere else. We'll see. I've just got all the kit out, and actually there's a little bit more of the car park. So I think there's actually maybe 12 anglers. I think someone's just leaving now. So yeah, it looks pretty busy. I might just have to try and find somewhere and just slot in. It's not ideal, but I thought it was going to be empty. How very wrong I was. Right, let's get the kit wheel down and we'll see where we can slot in. It gets hot very quickly when you realise at the other end of the lake that the wheelbarrow has punctured. Oh my god. So yeah, pushed it all the way. I don't even know what peg I'm in. Couldn't tell you, don't know. Maybe 6. Yeah, I think I'm in peg 6. This is all on the front lake. So as I did my walk around, I was speaking to all the people, and there was a geezer just in peg 6, and he had 5 during the night. So I've looked around onto the back lake. There's people in my swims, the swims that I like to fish from. So given this peg opening up, I thought, yeah, why not jump on the front lake and hopefully try and get some for the night. And now that my barrel wheel's popped, not looking good. However, going to get the rods out now. Get the rod pod and everything set up, and then use the boat, get the rigs out, then think about putting the bivvy up, as I'm not too keen on sleeping under the stars just in case it rains. I don't want to get caught out. So yeah, I'm going to put the get my stuff set up now, get the rods out. So as you would have just seen, got the first rod out. I've opted for the bait boat. It's a very, very easy cast, but I've opted for the bait boat to get it in there very silently, because I don't really want to be thrashing the water around. So I'm going to use the bait boat throughout tonight, this session. So I'm only fishing till the morning. So yeah, one rod's out. I'm going to put my bivvy up, sort myself out, then put the second rod out, as I'm going to do a bit of filming on the actual bait boat itself. So if you do want to run a bit of a review on the new direction bait boat 2, then I'll put it up in the corner just here. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of filming once everything's set up, and then probably just chill out for a little bit before making some food. So yeah, now that I've got all the kit set up, I thought I'd just give you a quick run through the bait that I'm using, and also my hook baits and rigs that I've been using over the past probably months, but I've got a slight different approach now. So first of all, I'm using the Pacific tuna, so CC Moore's Pacific tuna, and I'm using it all just chopped up. As you can see, it's soaked in an oily, fishy, well, basically just a fish oil. I don't actually know what it is. I found it in the back of my shed. Could be salmon, could be krill, could be anything, but it's pretty fishy. And this is the second time I've had to dose these. So I'll just leave these in my bucket ready. They're just glugged in oil, so they're really, really smelly. They obviously ooze, that oil's soaked right through. So that is what I'm using as freebies. Then as my hook bait, I'm just fishing a very simple helicopter rig with quite a big bit of freedom for the rig to move on. I can afford to fish a heavy lead as I'm using the bait boat to get it out there, so I'm not causing any big splashes. And then down at the business end, I'm using an Illusion D. If you'd seen anything by Tom Maker, he uses a lot of Illusion D rigs. And then again, just using a bottom bait topped with buoyant sweet corn, so that kind of gives it like that wafter effect. The hook bait, the bottom bait's exactly the same, almost literally straight out of the bucket. I would have gone out the bag, but I don't have any left in the bag, so it's all out of the bucket. And the previous session, so the one you would have seen if you've watched the first bit of this video, I caught that on exactly the same baiting approach, so a few chopped boilies and this as a hook bait. However, that was on a blowback rig. And trialing them, I've not had much luck with, I've not really fished them, to be honest. So the rod that I've got out now has got one on. So yeah, I'm fishing one on a D rig and one on the blowback rig, just for comparison. And there's also some catfish out there, and the fluorocarbon doesn't seem to do quite well with the catfish pads. So if I hook one on either rod, I've got a better chance of landing it on the actual one with the blowback rig. So yeah, that is the bait approach that I'm using. As you might be aware, if you watch this a lot, or you watch my channel a lot, I always use dumbbell wafters from CC Moore, as in Northern Specials, and that or double fake sweet corn, and you know, the double fake sweet corn, especially on this local lake, Stillwater, it's done me so many fish on the back lake. I'm currently fishing the front lake this time, as I mean, a good opportunity to come up near the lily pads, short distance fishing. So far, yeah, why not? I've got the boat with me, so I don't need to make disturbance. So yeah, I'm gonna get this second rod out now. Hopefully that should be and I'm gonna go to the far corner of the pad. So I've got one close by in like a V notch, and then I'm going to go beyond it a little bit further. Might have to backlead it, we'll see for now, and we'll see what the night brings. What time is it now? It's 4:45, so once I've done this, probably just chill out, watch the water for a little bit, and then potentially get the food on as we're going into night time. But as I'm looking out now, the little corner that I'm going to put it on, a little bit of clouding, a little bit of fizzing, so we could have quite a quick bite on the cards. We'll see. Right, let's get this out. I've just lost one. I'm quickly retying the rig now. It was on the right hand rod, which is on the closest side of the lilies, and the bobbin just pulled up tight. I wouldn't say liners, but I did see the rod tip move. So what I did is what did I do? I slackened the line off slightly, turned the sensitivity up on the bite alarm, and I was just talking to a couple of boys, a couple of old boys that I just walked past, and literally as they turned around, the bobbin pulled up tight, struck into it, and it's headed just as you would expect straight into those lilies, and it absolutely stripped line off like I haven't seen anything, to be honest. So two options: it was either a big carp or a catfish, but I never felt anything like that pull instantly, so I think it was a catfish. Like I say, I'm just tying another rig up now. I'm gonna get that rod straight back out, same bait. I'm not baiting too heavy, as the person who was in behind me had done 24 hours, so I don't actually know how much bait's out there. And he was scattering the bait, whereas obviously me with a bait, but I can afford to be a little bit tighter as it's more accurate, isn't it? So yeah, gonna quickly tie this rig up, get it back out there, and fingers crossed. I mean, that's good, it's 6 o'clock, so it shows me that something's there, everything's working, we've had a bite. Only thing now, just try and land it. So yeah, I'll finish tying this and get the rod back out. Got the rod back out, took me a little longer as I had to physically tie up a new rig. I didn't have any blowback rigs tied up because I was just trying it. But at the minute, last session and this session, I've been putting it in the likely spots, and I caught one last session. A little rat there behind me. Caught one on the last session, and obviously I've just lost one now, so I didn't have many tied up because I was just trialing it. Whereas I think I'm gonna. So obviously, if you into my fishing and watch me a lot, then I normally use Illusion D rigs, but I am trying to use a bottom bait rig, which is obviously the blowback. So that's what I've been trialing. So yeah, I think I need to reblend and sit and tie some of those rigs up. But yeah, so far so good on the spot. We know the bait's working, the rig's obviously working. So yeah, hopefully we can get a few and bully him out of the pads this evening. But yeah, I'm gonna cook some burgers now while the night's still young and go from there. So, quick one. When it comes to eating on the bank, are you a type of person that just has pot noodles, noodles of any kind, snacks, sandwiches, whatever it might be, or do you bring the kitchen sink and have full-on meals? I don't know how or why people even do it. I mean, I've started to push the boat out a little bit. I got one of the one of the Ridge Monkey pans, and I've done some toasties on it, cheese toasted, obviously very, very easy to do. And now I've stepped it up to burgers, so take a look at this. Just got 2 sizzling in the pan now. I haven't flipped them yet. Just cooking them nice and slow. I don't want to burn them and not cook the inside. So yeah, cooking them really, really slow. I'll flip them in a few minutes. Got the brioche buns out ready to go. Thought, why not treat myself? A couple of burgers, maybe a fish. What an evening. Yeah, still gutted about that fish. There we have it. A couple of cheeseburgers, brioche buns. Not too fussed about sauce. Here we go. It's about 9 o'clock. Nothing else really to report. A couple of liners. Reset my left hand rod. So going into the night, one's got fresh hook bait. The other, obviously, I lost one a couple of hours ago, so it's relatively all right. One thing I have noticed though, is Pacific tuna, they lose their colour very, very quickly. So yeah, just about to sign off for the night really. It's about 9 o'clock. Hopefully you'll see me through the night with a couple of fish. That would be awesome. I'm pretty confident going into tonight, even though, you know, I've lost one. Like I say, the geezer before me had 5 during the night, so he didn't really have anything through the day. So yeah, this looks like it's a nighttime swim. The back lake that we fish on, that I fish on normally, does most of my fish during the night. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get my head down early, so get as much sleep as I can, as I've got to be away early for work. And if it's going to be an eventful night, I need to get some sleep. So yeah, I'm going to sign off early and try and get my head down. Hopefully you see me during the night. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I thought I'd just jump on and give you a quick update. Both of the rods have just been out of the water. I've just lost one on each rod. On the right hand rod, took me into the pads again and cut me off. So what I've done now is I've just put a snag leader on there, a snag leader, and obviously redone the rigs, put that one back out. And then on the left hand rod, as I was getting the rod made up, the left hand rod went and it took me straight into the middle of the lake, and then just had a hook pull. They spat the hook out. But yeah, looked at the rig, bit of slime on the rig, so again, possibly a catfish. But that rig looked okay, the hook looked fine, still sharp. So I just rebaited that and put that one back out. So yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, lost 3 fish this session so far. So yeah, I'm just trying to tweak it now to actually try and land one. So we'll see what happens. See you in the morning. Well, an eventful night and nothing to show for it. Just coming up to 6 o'clock in the morning now. It's time to start backing up. Right, let's just get on with it. Well guys, just leaving the complex now. A bit of a sweat on. Again, that wheelbarrow with no wheel is horrendous. Sadly, lost those 3 during the night. Were they carp? Were they cats? We'll just never know. I didn't even get a chance to see any of them. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Stay tuned for more club campaign. See you later.